welcome back to Global Civics. With me today at Helena Civic Television is a distinguished diplomat representing Mexico. He's a consul, resident in Boise, Idaho. His name is Guillermo Ordorica.
Yes, sir.
I will call you Consul and to avoid any mispronunciation of your name. And also Mr. Nate Kavanaugh, a senior at Carroll College and an intern with the Montana Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
We're here to talk about Mexico's relationship with the United States, with a focus, of course, on our relationship here in Montana with all things Mexican, with respect to trade, energy, immigration. Definitely want to address the immigration issue because that does come up now and then, even so far removed from Mexico. And Nate, I think you have some interests of your own you might want to pursue in the course of our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So for starters, Mr. Consul, please
Yes.
tell us a little bit about your position, what you do, and why you're here in Montana.
Thank you, Stephen. Actually, I'm Consul of Mexico for the states of Idaho, Montana, parts of Oregon, and parts of Nevada. It's a huge jurisdiction in which we have like at about 250,000 Mexican origin people. And well, it's a huge territory. I offer services of protection, documentation, and promote Mexico as a tourist destination, a nice partner to invest, a safe and beautiful country to go. So, well, this is my best. I'm trying to do my best with a very nice group of people working with me all together, trying also to send this very strong message of something great is happening in Mexico today.
Yeah, sounds like a great job, actually.
Well, actually, yes.
Diversified and interesting territory that you have to cover.
Yes.
A lot of miles.
Yes.
A lot of topography.
Yeah, it offers us, in this case, it offers me with the opportunity to know this beautiful part of the United States, the northwestern part of the United States, which is really great in terms of nature, natural resources. Just driving from Boise to Helena yesterday was amazing. It's great. I am very, very happy here, and I'm just feeling great in this region as a consul.
Yeah. Well, let's start talking a little bit about the immigration issue,
Yeah.
which is not a huge one here in Montana. We are physically so far removed from the border and all the news we get through the media about U.S.-Mexico border problems there. We don't see them, we don't feel them here. But we know there are many, as you say, there are many Mexican Americans and Mexicans among us doing work, doing whatever they do.
Yes.
And from time to time in the legislature, there are proposals to clamp down or be more restrictive in some fashion with respect to all foreign nationals. And
Yes.
the Mexican identity comes up more often than not. So I'd love to hear more about your work in that arena and your perception of our response to Mexican people in this part of the world.
Well, let me tell you, thank you very much, Stephen. Let me tell you first that the presence of Mexico in the United States is important. 32.5 million people, Mexican origin, lives in the United States. That is about 10.3% of your total population. At the same time, 10.3 or 0.5 percentage of the national constituency. So that talks to you about the importance of the Mexican population living in the United States all around the country. We are neighboring countries. We have complementary economies. We are partners through NAFTA. We share values. Our border is a point of encounter. Sometimes it's a point in which we have to work together to solve differences and problems arising from local situations, but it never put in risk the very good relation that we have with the U.S. government as a whole. We are friends. We learn to be friends through negotiations, through the establishment of a very important network of cooperation agreements and institutional channels so that we can work and continue fostering this very good relation, showing the world how well can do two neighboring countries which are also friends and partners through NAFTA.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Nate, we're gonna get you into this conversation in just a moment, but you said two things I just want to elaborate a little bit. We're complementary economies.
Yeah.
It would be great to have you kind of flesh that out and what that means in terms of social interaction and the movement of peoples back and forth across the border. And then a little bit more about NAFTA and perhaps the effect NAFTA has had on migration patterns, employment, and trade and investment as well.
Yes, this is 2014. We are commemorating the 20th anniversary year of NAFTA. Since then, we've been really having a great evolution of the relation between both countries. We have increased our competitiveness. Both markets are closer than ever. We have a trade exchange, $1 million per minute between both economies. We have people moving 1 million crossings a day in both sides, going back and forth, 1 million a day in this border, which is almost 2,000 miles. We have exchanges through NAFTA for both our countries, close to almost $500 billion for a market close to 500 million people. So this is the size of the market. This is the importance of our relation in terms of trade and this complementary economies. Of course, people go back and forth, and I think that we've been doing very well. We know how to do this. We have Mexican population coming here because they are attracted by business, by opportunities for their personal well-being. And at the same time, we are also offering in Mexico conditions for investing. We have today one of the most important aerospace industries in the world. We have probably the most important automobile industry in the Americas. Most of the production chain of U.S. automobiles are made in Mexico. The same as aircrafts. We even have our own aircraft brands. So this is a very complementary process of economies. The labor market goes beyond, of course, the goods themselves. It has proved to be convenient for both countries to share people because are needed here and also there, because it's not just from here, from Mexico to the United States. We have also the other side, people from the United States going to Mexico, and increasing this exchange of people, and for the benefit of what we have now been calling the knowledge society.
Yes.
We're building a knowledge society in both countries, benefiting from the best of both. Yeah. So yes.
Well, I appreciate hearing that, because typically when people think or talk about or read about labor migration, when they think of Mexicans as migrant laborers, people who are out in the fields or picking this and that or doing very basic things, important things, but I think that image is a bit out of date. You've been describing, a knowledge-based economy with all kinds of sophisticated people transiting the border back and forth, doing business with one another. So it's refreshing to hear, this modern side of the relationship.
Exactly. Well, in this 20th anniversary of NAFTA, we are precisely trying to highlight this perception of how this knowledge society can really increase as a way for increasing the connectivity between our economies, and also as a way for increasing competitiveness of North America as a whole. Yeah. We've been used to say, well, this product is being made in the U.S. made. Mexican made, probably made in Mexico, probably made in the United States, probably made in Canada. That is good. This was probably at the beginning of NAFTA 20 years ago. After NAFTA, we have developed, on the side of it, we have developed a common, we share values. We're democracies, we share free trade, we share the rule of law, we share human rights. And these common values offer us the ground or the platform for continued cooperating. I'm probably not thinking anymore about US made or Mexican made. Why not to think about North American made? Yeah. This new brand from North America. So this is probably the tendency. If we see the world, the way it's behaving, international markets, now products are European made, are not anymore made in Czechoslovakia or Spain or whatever. Now it's European made, North American made. Yeah. We're just neighbors, and we have to continue doing this. And NAFTA has proved to be very effective. And actually, we proudly recognize NAFTA as one of the most emblematic free trade agreements in the world, a very successful one, which is now moving forward in this new moment of NAFTA 20 years after. Yeah. Well, Nate, we're glad to have a representative from the Montana Chamber with us here today, also from Carroll College, two important organizations in our community. What brings you to the table? Tell us a little bit about your connection to this important visit.
Okay, well, I am an intern on international trade for the Montana Chamber, and so I just kind of help out with those areas. And we wanted to hear a little bit more about immigration, so I'm glad we touched on that. But another question that the chamber had was about energy resources. As far as Mexico is developing energy resources, and so is Montana. And so we just kind of wanted to get a perspective on what opportunities or connections you might envision for Montana and Mexico.
Great. Mexico is an oil-producing country since many years, and you know that. We have a huge reputation for producing oil since many years ago. And during the actual administration of President Enrique Peña Nieto, he has, the government has made important reforms, including the energy sector. So now, even though the oil itself is the property of the nation, the exploitation of this oil and the commercialization of this oil, trading of this oil, and the secondary industry, biochemical industry coming from oil, can be now, under certain conditions, can be now is now seen as a way for investing from the private sector. So now we're opening oil industry to the private sector, and making sure that you can do this and in a safe way, and that your investment is going to be safe also in a very important market, which has been, in terms of our economy, a very stable economy during the last 20 years. So yes, we are inviting the investors to go Mexico, to check on the information that we can offer them in the consulate or in our diplomatic representations, to check on our internet sites about all the opportunities that we offer for those people interested in investing in the oil industry in Mexico. Yeah. The same for extraction, production, refinement, biochemicals, whatever. Right. Now we're partnering, and I'm sure that we will run the same risk. We're all running the same risk in a very positive way of investing in something that's going to be a very safe investment.
Yeah. Well, if I can follow up on your question,
yeah,
and what your response, Mexico is renowned as an oil exporting country, as is Canada. The United States has, in recent years, recent decades, been a net importer of oil and gas. Now, with all kinds of discoveries and new technologies allowing for the recovery of oil and gas we didn't think we could get at before, now we're on the verge, perhaps, of becoming a net exporter of oil and natural gas. In terms of the complementarity of the North American giants, Canada, the United States, and Mexico, do you see increasing competition for the products of Mexico in the American market, or is it more fully integrated as an industry to call it just straightforward nation-to-nation competition?
Well, Steve, I think that we both believe in free trade. And when you talk about free trade, this has to do with competition, a nice and wealthy and healthy competition between interests regarding the oil industry. What's going to happen, I don't know, but I'm sure that opening the oil industry to international markets and to the international investment is going to be good for all of us. It's going to complement the flows of capital between both countries. It's going to complement the investment that Mexican investors can do with foreign investors coming to invest in Mexico. And I think that this is going to be healthy for all of us, and will confirm Mexico as an open economy, a competitive economy, and a good partner, and a very safe partner to the United States. So I think this is a very important message that we have to send. We are the 14th economy in the world at this moment. We expect to be one of the first 10. I think that in between the 7th and the 10th economy in the world in the next coming years, probably in the next 15 years. We are the 4th economy in the Americas, the third in North America. The United States is our first partner in everything, and for you, the United States, we're your third partner. So the conditions are there. Yeah. It's just a matter of go and invest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're describing a relationship that has been getting better and better and better over the last 25
As
years
it
or
should
so.
be, as it should be, because
Right.
we're not just friends. In many ways, we're cousins, as we say. We are like a little family, with just one difference. When you marry a couple, they have all kinds of chances, even to divorce. But Mexico and the U.S. have all kinds of chances never to divorce. So we have to keep on things working in the good way.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm fond of thinking of the United States being in a gifted position, being neighbor to Canada and Mexico at
Sure.
the same time. I mean, there's just no more secure continental community on the planet, and we like that. You're going to tell us a little bit about an upcoming event, but before we get to International Trade Day, we want to make a mention of that before we're done. I kind of want to just swing back in the few minutes we have remaining to the actual people, the Mexican people that you encounter and assist, do business with here in your role as consul. Can you just describe some people that we might not know about in this part of Montana?
Well, we are a diplomatic representation, a consular representation of the government of Mexico, and our main goals are to protect Mexican nationals against any abuse committed to them for any authority, or not to make them escape from the rule of law in here. On the contrary, just to make sure that they receive the proper attention, that they are well protected and they know how to behave in this country. We offer them with documentation services, so that we offer them with passports, birth certificates, death certificates in case they need this, notary public documents. And we offer them with the tools for their continued empowerment in the United States. How or why? Because we want them to become, if that's the case, good citizens of the United States in the future. At the same time, we have all kinds of relations with public and private sectors in the region in which I am consul, as a way for continuing investing, presenting my country as a trade partner, as a safe destiny for tourism, as a very attractive destiny for the exchange of goods, a very nice destiny as a global partner. So yeah, we do all kinds of things in this region.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned tourism earlier. That's one of your functions, is to promote Mexico as a tourist destination.
Yes.
You don't have to try very hard in this part of the world. We're always looking south, in the wintertime, and I've had the good fortune of visiting Mexico. It was fabulous, and I want to go again.
Yes.
But I have another question, one more about immigration, and that is, I know a lot of people who are seriously considering emigrating from the United States to Mexico.
That is true.
Do you encounter that phenomenon, and what's that about?
Well, this is normal. The same as we, Mexico, have the biggest population of Mexicans living abroad in the United States, you Americans have the biggest population living abroad in Mexico. Just in the state of Guanajuato, in San Miguel de Allende, little town, we have over 1 million people, and most of them are U.S. citizens. And it's a growing population of senior citizens going to Baja California, and all Baja from Tijuana all the way down to Los Cabos. And there's great urban developments in there, golf courses and hospitals in the region. Of course, this is what we call medical tourism is growing in Mexico, because we offer great hospitals, first quality level hospitals, with great doctors at cheaper prices, of course, with medicine available to them. So yes, it's normal to go there. You will find a stable country, a democratic country, a safe country. You will find it you with medical services, and also in terms of tourism and paradise, we offer you with archaeology, music, all biodiverse destinations, sports tourism, and traditional beach tourism, whatever you may want, it's in Mexico. Also, we go beyond burritos, of course, or tacos, and we offer you one of the more elaborated and sophisticated cuisines in the world. So UNESCO just declared Mexican food as a world non-tangible heritage. So this is really amazing, and you will find very interesting going to Mexico to eat. Very nice.
Well, I'm going to have to stop you talking about food in Mexico, because I'm getting really hungry just listening to it.
Well, at this time, yes.
Yeah. And we have less than a minute left, but Nate, you get the last word. Tell us about International Trade Day and the Chamber's role in promoting trade with Mexico and other places.
Definitely. So I think the best way to describe the Trade Day is a celebration of the exports that are going on, and I think an encouragement for exports that could go on in the future. And I know that's, we want to showcase the people that do export and then just show the opportunities that there are, especially with our neighbors, Mexico, obviously Canada, and then maybe some other countries as well, but we'd really love to see Mexico represented there in March.
Well, me too. And that will be at the state capitol?
Yeah.
During the legislature? Or
in March. I think it's
during the
March.
legislature.
Yeah.
That's good.
Great.
A lot of exposure, a lot of attention.
Great. We'll
Yeah.
be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming to Helena Civic Television and gracing us with your knowledge and expertise. It's a wonderful privilege to have people from foreign countries come to Helena, the capital city of Montana, and tell us what they're doing. The interest in all things international is growing as we speak.
Thank you very much to you, Stephen, and to your auditorium. Thank you very much.
Right.
Mexico is a friendly country. Open gates for all friends as you.
Yes. Well, I'm going to have to say goodbye, and I think I'm on my way to Mexico.